Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Rico, and I'm back with another video. Today I'm gonna teach y'all how to flip cars, how to buy them low and sell them a little high. So if you like my content, man, if you think that I'm helping you out, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. That'll mean the world. So enough of me talking, let's get right into it. All right, so you know the drill at this point. The first thing I'm gonna tell y'all is the startup cost for what it is we trying to do. And today we trying to flip cars. So honestly, flipping cars ain't one of those things that you can really get in with, you know, minimum amount of money. You're gonna need about $1,000 just to purchase your first car and get a flippable car. And I'm gonna go into detail a little later about how different cars have different profit margins, but I would say $1,000 is what you need first. The second thing that you need as far as startup expenses is you need to put aside a little money for registration, title change, and all of that, depending on what city, state, county, or parish for my Louisiana folks out there. Depending on which one of those you're in, it can vary. So I know here in Texas, I don't know if it works like that in your state, but here in Texas, if I buy a car from you and you say you gave it to me as a gift, but I just kind of pay you under the table, then we sort of cut down on a lot of costs by doing it that way. So that's definitely an option. But as far as startup costs, those are the only things you're gonna need. Now we're gonna transition into expenses. Expenses, these are things that you're gonna need down the stretch, stuff you're gonna need for the everyday grind. And the only thing that really helped me eliminate a lot of costs is actually one of those code readers, and I'll link one in the description below, the one that I used off Amazon. But this code reader, it was basically my standard for if I'm going to buy the car or not. Certain codes I'd stay away from. Certain codes, if they came up, you know, I know it's fixable, and with experience you'll get it. So that's that. Another expense to look out for is gonna happen to you, especially if you take it, if you want to get into this, and I knock on this wooden table that it doesn't, but you might need to put some money aside, or I'm not gonna say put some money aside, but expenses for repairs. Okay. Sometimes you might, you know, sometimes you might encounter somebody who's good at hiding a problem, and so, you know, you still got to get it repaired, or you're out of your money. So that's something to look out for as far as an everyday expense, is, you know, getting that code reader, and, you know, looking out for, you know, different issues that pop up for repairs and stuff like that. Now to y'all favorite part of the video. I know y'all be like, bro, get to the profit. We don't want to hear all that other stuff. Now I'm playing, but the answer is the same, unfortunately, and there isn't a set profit. What I can tell you is that, like I mentioned earlier, the more, basically, this is the rule of thumb. The more you buy the car for, the more you can flip it for. Cars between the range of, from my experience, 15,000 to 4,000 can bring you 1,500 to 4,000 as far as the flip. So while cars with the lower end, like let's say the $1,000 car, you'd be doing good to get, you know, you'd be doing good to get 700 profit, 500 profit. So, you know, that's what you should be looking for when you spinning around there. And the more expensive cars, the $1,500 and up cars, honestly, you can flip those for a lot more profit. And hey, sometimes, you know, it varies in this game. So sometimes you might come across a car that's 1,500 and you can only get another 500 out of it. And when I'm speaking in these terms, I mean profit. So meaning you can sell that $1,500 car for $2,000, which for one flip is, to me, it's all good. So those are the profit margins, and I'm gonna go a little bit more into depth as far as on my things to know section on, you know, why it's like that and how you get it. So yeah, those are the profits. All right. Now, this has become my favorite part because I really feel like this is left out of a lot of these type of videos. And this is how to acquire these cars, because everything sounds all good and dandy. Oh, you buy a yacht, and then you sell that yacht for $6 million, and then boom, you're rich. You know, but bro, how do I get a yacht You know what I'm saying? Where do I even go to buy one? How do I get a yacht for less than what a yacht would usually go for? And in this case, we're talking about cars. So this is how you acquire them. All right. And this is exactly how you acquire good priced vehicles that you can buy to sell. And it's really unpopular with people like me and you. If you're watching this, you're probably a buy and sell person or about to be. And it's really lowballing. And that's honestly what it is. You might call it lowballing. I might call it negotiating. However, unless you find someone who's naive and don't know what they have, that's really the only way that you're going to be able to get some wiggle room so that your profit margin can go up. So get on Facebook Marketplace, get on Craigslist, get on OfferUp, get on 5 Miles, and start to ask people, hey, what's the bottom price you'll take for this? I got the money right now, and I'll come. If I can come test drive it, then I'll come get it right now. And you'd be surprised how many people say, you know what, come get it. So though that's really the most realistic 2 ways to acquire good price cars that you can sell for a profit. And I know it sounds unrealistic, but my cousin, he's actually into this. And what he told me that, and I'm just like, nah, no way, bro. Nobody's gonna, cause I know me. And if somebody lowballs me, I'm gonna say no. So that's how I thought it worked. But honestly, you'd be surprised if you asked 10 people how many of those 10 people would say, you know what, come get it. So that's how you acquire. Favorite part. I know I said profit was my favorite part, but things to know is my favorite part. Kind of lace you up on stuff you need to know and look out for. So the first thing you need to know, do not ever in your life go look at a car before you check the value on it, right? So there's a little thing, and I'm gonna put it on the screen. There's an app or a website called kellybluebook.com, and it'll tell you exactly how much that car make, model, and year is worth. Do not go see a car if you have not already done that math in your head and made sure that even going to test drive it was worth your while. Another thing that you need to know is like I said in the last segment, the key to actually getting a good deal on a car is negotiating. Okay. You have to lowball. You have to get out there and ask for a lower price. That's basically what it boils down to. In my experience, this is the third thing. In my experience, the used cars that you buy between $1,500 and $4,000 are the least risky and the fastest to sell. Cars like that have a range of $1,000 to $2,000 profit. I'm not lying to you. That's good money for a single flip, and that's probably why flipping cars is the very most popular flip game as far as flipping, because houses is a little bit out of most people's reach. So cars are a little bit above phones and everything like that, because the profits you can really eat off of flipping cars. So the code reader, my method and what ended up working for me was, and it cut down my mechanic expenses too. It really did. There was a certain standard I had with codes, right? And I told y'all that in another segment. Certain codes were a simple no-go for me. Usually check engine lights were a no-go, but once I got my feet wet and got my legs all the way in the pool, then I realized, wait, there's some stuff that's super fixable. So yeah, that's definitely something to learn and get good at, is learning how to determine what cars need what. I'll give you an example. Okay. There was a guy and he had a Buick, right? I think he had a 2003 Buick LeSabre or something like that. And it don't even matter what car it was, but he wanted $1,000 for it and it didn't run. Okay. It didn't run. It had the check engine light on it. And, because it didn't run and he wanted $1,000, something told me, bro, don't even go mess with it. But the only reason I did is because my mom told me, hey, go check it out. I think this is wrong with the car. And so I put the code reader on and realized that, wait, what he thinks is wrong with the car and why it won't start is not the case. And so, I gladly, I put my code reader in. It let me know what the real problem was, and you're gonna have to do your own research. I'm gonna point you in the right direction and link you to some articles and information about what different codes mean, but you're gonna have to do your own research on that. But the fact of the matter is that I ended up purchasing that car and selling it for $2,500 because all it needed was a tune up. All it needed was new spark plugs. And the code told me that whatever the problem he was telling me it wasn't that serious. I ended up pouring $300 into that car just to get everything else right, because I knew I would be able to get a good profit off of it. But, still, I kind of felt bad. But, don't feel bad, because it's the nature of the business. So that's my things to know section about flipping cars. Now we on to the challenges. These are the challenges of flipping cars. Number one, I cover this a lot simply because I want to get it through your head that it's possible and that it's not far-fetched. Getting good low-price cars. The key to actually getting one, like I said a million times in this video, is negotiating or lowballing, whatever you want to call it. Some people are in situations where they need a lump sum of cash, and I'm actually about to teach you the psychology of finding the type of people that are in this situation, and you can actually see it in the way they're writing their posts. So maybe it's because I'm a graphic designer and I was trained to use words expressing thought and emotion or whatever through words or whatever. So I was trained to look at words differently than just actually reading them. And so there's a certain tone of somebody in desperation. There's a certain, it doesn't necessarily have to be, I need gone ASAP. Okay, that's honestly just so people can bite on it. That person might not be desperate and that person might not budge on their price. Here's the verbiage that you need to target. These type of people, all right? These type of people are the people you need to target. People that overcompensate for the explanation of the car. Example, nice, loyal car that's been in the family for years. It doesn't look the best, but, I got you. I know your mindset now. You don't even really want to sell the car. You don't even really want to get rid of it. You have to. You're in a situation where you have to. And yes, I don't wish that on nobody, but it's the reality of the world. So that's how you can spot it, is that type of language. People who sound like they don't really want to sell the car, but you can tell they're actively trying to sell the car. Those people are who you need to target. Also, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings, from my experience, that's where I got all my good deals, all my sweet deals was on those days. That's where the fresh new cars are coming in. Honestly, the deals that are too sweet get grabbed up immediately. So if you want to get a too sweet deal, you need to be up those times. And so for me, I literally set my alarm on those days to 5 a.m. even though I didn't have to be up, because for me, I'm one of those people, when I get into something like that, I'm insane about it. I'm crazy about it. So I was literally having a little morning party every morning with my coffee at my desk, looking at the new deals coming in, looking at the new cars. So that's something you need to do. It might be different where you are, but pay attention. And I can guarantee Saturday for sure is Saturday morning. You're going to get a bunch of new cars on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, all those type of places. So be on the lookout. The third thing I want you to know, or a challenge, is dealing with people who have dealt with flakers. Okay. I need you to understand this. Your biggest leverage is your ability to meet and pay the soonest. Speaking from experience, even as a seller, not even just a buyer, when you're paying less than the next guy, but you're willing to come now, you got the leverage. Please understand that your ability to meet up and pay is always going to be your leverage. Here's some verbiage, because I know you're like, man, how am I supposed to lowball people? What do I say? And you gotta put on your acting face. You gotta win you an Oscar. You gotta get you an Oscar. But this worked like a charm for me. Okay, let's say the car I wanted is listed at $1,700, right? And I verified that, man, I can get at least $2,000 for that car. So I'm going to try to get it down to 13 to 15, because for me, 500 profit, I'm in. So I was going to try to get it down. If it was 17, get it down to that number. So I'd say, hey, sir or ma'am, I'm very interested in your Buick. Let's just say Buick. However, I'm slightly afraid it's a little bit out of my budget. What's your bottom price? And this is how most of the time, this is how this is how they're gonna respond. And if you got the right person that we talked about targeting, this is how they're gonna respond. They're gonna say, well, I was looking to get 1,700 for it, but what's your budget? Out of curiosity, they want to know your budget. Okay. And then that's when I turn around and say, ma'am, I got 1,300 and I can bring it to you today if I can test drive it and make sure everything's good. And sometimes that's gonna go one of three ways. They're either gonna say they're so tired of the process of being stood up, or whatever pressure they're under, because like I said, they might be in a bind. They'll either bite on it instantly, which is going to be rare, but it's a possibility. They're going to say no, or the most common, they'll say no for the moment. Okay, for the moment, capital for the moment. Okay, because the buy and sell game, because there are flakers, people who don't show up, because there are so many ridiculous low ballers. Like, you don't want to be a ridiculous low baller. That wears on you after a while. And I'm speaking from experience as a seller. After a while, you're like, you know what, man? The next person who's serious with a decent amount of money is getting this car or phone or computer or whatever. So what usually happens is they say no for the moment. They go through that cycle. And by the end of the day, they're calling you back and saying, hey, is that $1,300 still on the table? And then you either say yes or no. And boom, I've secured probably 90% of my vehicles. I've secured them that way. So this is definitely not fluff. This is real life stuff. Low ballers. This is right. This is quite hypocritical to me to address low ballers, but that's actually the largest challenge that you're going to face. Like I was just explaining, that actually wears on you as a seller. Just kindly say no or ignore the message if you're not interested. You don't want to be that guy or girl. Another thing you need to look out for: sellers I'm gonna put this in red somewhere. Sellers who are not willing to let you test drive the car or put your code checker on it. I don't care if they have a Lamborghini for $500. Don't push the button on that car. They're hiding something, and that vehicle is not worth the trouble. So please don't buy a car, or even meet up with somebody who's not going to let you test drive it or hook your code reader up, or both and let you put your code reader on you. They need to let you do both. Last but not least, safety. And of course, my usuals: don't buy or sell in shady locations. Although, being honest with you, it's more appropriate in this type of deal than with phones or anything. It's more appropriate to meet someone at their house or have somebody meet at your house to look at the car. However, I'm still going to recommend parking lots, public lots, stuff like that. That's the way to go. And when you're selling, you always offer a test drive. Okay. Now that brings you into another layer of a security threat. Okay. But that's the most risky part. For the most part, I believe there's still good people in the world. However, you've got to be protected. So when you're giving test drives, ideally you want to ride with them. Okay. Ideally you want to ride with them. But if that's something you're not comfortable with, then you need a valid driver's license that you can keep with you, not a copy, not a paper copy, the actual license itself. You need that while they test drive the car, because who's to say that they're ever coming back? I've heard of rare stories just in the community of people that are like us, who do this, who say, yeah, man, I had a dude drive off with my car. I ain't never seen him again. I did a stolen car report, and that was that. But so yeah, don't please be careful. Trust your instincts, man. If something is too good to be true, it is too good to be true. So I don't want to see nothing happen to y'all, man. So please be cautious when it comes to that. Do not, this is my last thing. Do not ever in your life hand someone a signed title by you before you have the money in your possession. I've seen people accidentally do that. And while honestly, it's not a situation where, oh, well, you handed me the signed title and signed it over to me without me paying you, so I get to just run off with it. It doesn't work like that. In the long run, you can get your car back, but it's a hassle. And honestly, by the time you get it back, it's probably not going to be worth what you when you know accidentally sign the title over. So do not sign the title until you've counted out the money and verified the money is real. It is a long process. Trust me, don't do it. That's gonna wrap it up today, man. Hopefully I was able to give y'all a brief little overview on how to, I tried to keep it as brief as possible, while still going into detail and giving y'all real actionable steps, giving y'all the real, not the, not the YouTube guru version of me in front of my Lamborghini or nothing like that. But hopefully I was able to provide y'all with some value, man. Tell me how I did in the comments. Tell me if you got any more questions about flipping cars. I'm willing to share everything. I'm an open book. So with that being said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and sign out for the night, man. Y'all go ahead and like, comment, subscribe if y'all like my content. And you know what? Let's just keep growing and learning together, man. I love y'all. Thanks for all the new subscribers, man. Reyes, you a beast. You the GOAT. So thanks for that, bro. One love. We signing out. Let's get it.